Hello,
Hey, back again.
we are back again.
We are.
And thank you so much for being here with us to be a part of our conversation.
Always appreciate it.
Yes, we appreciate every view.
And every comment.
Yes, it doesn't
Keep
go
them coming.
unnoticed. Thank you so much for your support. Today, our subject is going to be on friendships,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And do our present day friendships measure our maturity?
Good question.
I thought so.
When you say that, what do you mean?
Um, okay, so like maturity to me equals like your character, right? And how you would handle a situation or conflict.
Okay.
Okay.
But then we're talking about friendships.
So friendships, yes. How does your friendships influence your maturity level?
Is that the purpose of friendship, though?
Yeah, you tend to vibe off of each other.
Okay,
And you
so
know the old
don't give me birds of
saying,
a feather flock together. Don't give me
boom,
that. Please don't give me that. The reason why I said don't give me that is because this might be an old saying, it might be old as dirt, but not necessarily true. And people have different thoughts, they have different character, they have different upbringings. And while they may have one or two things in common with this person, they don't necessarily vibe and would not react to the same stimuli in every situation.
well then how long would that friendship last?
When you say friends, can we just get some common ground here? Because I'm data driven, and when we're talking about a friend, what are we talking about exactly?
Okay, how about you let me know what you classify as a friend?
What I
What's
classify as
your
a friend
definition of
is
friendship?
um, absence of sex. There would be a mutual what? What's
I
the
don't know
problem?
why that was mentioned.
Why was absence of sex?
Yeah.
Yeah, male or female. It can be a male friend or a female friend. Absence of sex.
Okay.
Okay, it's just
Oh,
my
you
speech.
mean okay, okay. I got you.
Okay, so back to the friend. So, absence of the sex of the person, it's a mutual form of affection based on the behavior between two people. Can be anybody. Classified as friend. That's how I classify. Actually, I think that's how Webster classifies friend also.
Okay. So that being said, the people that you're surrounding yourself with, the ones that you're choosing to spend your time, go out to dinner with, have conversations with, run ideas by, are they a reflection of where you are emotionally?
And now you just gave me another variable. So we're talking about
Well,
emotion.
maturity, and that's your emotion, right? Because your maturity is how you would handle, like I said, your maturity is equals your character and how you handle conflict or any given situation. So that's always emotion driven, right?
I don't know.
Normally.
Well, we're coming from two different perspectives. Okay, um, in my environment, emotion and friendships and how we handle conflict often resorted in violence. Okay, there was only one gear, and that was to react in violence when there was a conflict,
Okay.
as
But you're not
opposed
doing
to
that now, right?
no, we're not doing that now.
And
But
if you had those same friends around you and everybody's just, throwing their hands up and nobody's communicating, then
it would be the same behavior.
yeah, it would be the same behavior. So that's what I mean by, okay, do you age out of certain friend groups, right?
Okay, now we're getting somewhere because yes,
Yeah,
you
you
do.
would age out of certain friend groups. And after a while, if your friends are not in alignment with like your vibration, I want to say, because I am kind of on the cosmic karmic energy wave, but
Okay.
but
The vibration. My
so
friend is
so
vibrating.
but I'm saying, like, if they're low vibrational and you're more on a, okay, I'm optimistic, I'm positive, I'm looking at growth and expansion, and they're fine and settled in where they are, right? Scared of growth, scared of expansion, scared. So it's like at some point you're only going to get to um a certain point in your friendship and you got to split off.
So
Like
we're
as
talking about a
yeah,
crossroad.
you're at a crossroads. So that's what I mean. Like um and I think it's very relevant that okay, the people around you are you would have to be on the same maturity level. You have to be on the same like emotional level, right?
Okay, so let's unpack what you just said. So I want to make sure I understand it because I'm a little slow. So what you're saying is eventually you're going to have to outgrow the friends that you have, regardless of the emotional attachment, because of the maturity.
I feel like at least one of you have to try to elevate the other.
But isn't a friend, a true friend, one that encourages a person to grow in the first place?
Absolutely. And that's my point. A true friendship wants to see you win. A true friendship wants growth and expansion, and it's enveloped in love, right?
Always.
So always, that bond is unbreakable, right? And it should be able to stand the test of time. But if at some point that friendship becomes a hindrance to growth.
So when do you make that determination is my question. So I follow everything that you just said. I
Hmm.
did. I told you. I just want to make sure I understand. At what point did you make the determination that this person is no longer aligning with me as a friend, so I need to move on? Do you understand my
I
question?
mean, that would come with that would be situational, right? That
So
would
it's a
be
case by
through
case basis.
yeah, that would be by conversation or if okay, say you're in a friend group, let's use reality shows as an example, right?
Okay.
So we're out to dinner and we're having drinks
All right.
and my best friend doesn't like one of the ladies that's in the group.
Okay.
Okay, so she's being very nasty and they're going back and forth and it's very confrontational.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything to my friend at the time. It's just going to be like, okay, all right, well, you said what you had to say. All right, ladies, come on, let's chop it up. Like I'm more the
Right.
peacemaker. Come on, let's have a toast. Let's drink. Let's have a good time, right?
Okay.
But behind closed doors, I'm going to have a conversation with my friend and let her know, yeah, okay, there was a different way that you could have handled that situation. Now, if she's not open to the criticism or open to um, a different way of
Suggestion.
the suggestion or a different way of going about
Okay.
how to handle conflict, because through through these situations, you have to use tools, as far as conflict resolution, right? So it's like, are you just trying to incite drama or are you trying to really just like everybody chill, let's get along,
But
right?
I think that that comes with maturity. So then
Exactly. So
we
then
invoke
that's
the
when you
maturity.
determine if she rejects the deposit, if she rejects that conversation, if she's like, nah, forget her. She get on my nerves. I can't stand the way she chew or da da da. Or she said this, that, and the third about the outfit that I had on last week, so I feel some type of way.
Not the
I mean,
outfit.
but I'm just saying the
Yeah.
level of maturity is like, girl, so what? Like, who cares about any of that? And but the point is that you would determine, okay, she is still 15 years old in her mind.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And here we are 40 some years old. Like, we got to change this behavior up. You know what I'm saying? And if she's not in alignment with it, do you drop her? No. But I wouldn't bring her around that friend group no more.
No, no,
She
no.
would have her place in my life.
I get it. Wait, stop. I get what you're saying. I understand it 100%. Okay. Just to give an example, I'm still friends with, some of the biggest drug dealers that Philadelphia's ever seen. But it's just we've taken two different paths in life. That has nothing to do with how I feel about that person as a friend. We're just doing two entirely different
Absolutely.
things.
Your
We're still
lives
friends
aren't
though.
intermingled. You're not entangled. How often do you talk to or see? You know
Whenever I
what I
go
mean?
back.
It's like exactly. So that could be a month. That could be months at a time. So this isn't someone that's in your space on a daily,
But
right? This isn't somebody that you would pick up the phone and, oh, I just got a brand new car, or oh, my boyfriend just, um, you know, asked me to propose to me and asked me to marry, like you wouldn't have them a part of your updates in life, right?
But I don't consider everybody in my social circle a friend. So it's
True.
it's a dichotomy.
And
Is my
that's
point.
that's why I don't. You said that they're your friends, and you're lumping them in like that. I've never met these people,
For
so they
obvious
can't.
reason,
Yeah,
you
they
just
so they can't.
explained why you did not meet these people. You just explained it.
They can't be classified as friends. They're more of associates, right? At this
Mm,
point, at one point,
okay.
they may have been a friend, but as you grew and distance became what it was, right? They're more of an associate because our lives don't align. Our my ambitions and goals and what I stand for and my character doesn't align with what they're doing. But I wish them all the best, right?
But okay, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a cop out. That whole wish them all the best. It's if you wish the person all the best, then that means you still have affection for the person. So you still consider them a friend. Let's call a spade a spade. So if I still have affection for the person and I still actually, care what happens in their daily lives,
Mm-hmm.
then we might have distance, but under the definition of a friendship and given what we've been through together, we're still friends. I think that everyone has different classifications of what a friend truly is. I believe that, it's my belief that while we might do different things, while we're in different spaces in life, I would still encourage that person to grow. Distance doesn't matter. Be the biggest drug dealer you can possibly be. Just don't go to jail. Um, and I'm sure he would, encourage me to do the same. So, matter of fact, they have encouraged me to do the same on the corner. Like, yo, Jay, when are you getting out of school? I will walk past them every day. Yo, when are you getting out of school? I'm tired of seeing you walking. Yeah, I'm tired of walking, but I got to go get this degree. So, oh man, you going for another degree? Yeah, I need another one. So, I mean, I pass these guys on the corner, but I can't. We grew up together. I can't necessarily say that there's no affection for the person. I've gone to these funerals also, and I felt something when they died. I felt something when they got life in prison. I felt something when, circumstances beyond their control, you know, their spouses lost their lives. I mean, it goes with the territory, but you feel for the person.
Yeah, no one ever said that you're not feeling for the person. Like, I totally get what you're saying. I'm just, my point of view is that these people are not in your day to day
They're
life.
not in my
Yeah.
social circle.
So whether you consider them a friend or not,
Hmm.
that's your definition.
Got it. Understood.
Yeah. So friendships for me personally have come and gone. Mine are more seasonal.
Understood.
I do have friends that, I grew up with, some I've lost contact with. Um, Follow friends on Facebook from school, high school, whatever. I have long time friendships, but we don't speak day to day.
Understood.
But if we were to see each other in the store, or if one of my girlfriends posts something and it's funny and I'm just like, oh my God, and we get in the messages and start talking to each other, we could pick up where we left off. Do you see what I mean?
Hmm.
But like the day to day, I'm more of a loner. So my friendships kind of like if it's somebody that I work with, or I tend to hang around older, more mature people
Okay.
because I like to be around those that I can learn from.
Understood.
Yeah, I'm very knowledge based. Like I want to be able to be around you and receive
Hmm.
from you. I don't like a lot of my experience has been one sided friendships where I'm I feel like so drained and pulled from by the time we're done with the dinner, the drink, or the meeting. And it's like after a while, you're kind of like, is this relationship really serving me? Because it all seems one-sided. Like, I'm supportive, I am here, I'm a shoulder to cry on, I am, I can give you words of wisdom and even try to help you get on the right track, but it's not reciprocated.
That's usury. That's not
Yeah,
trust.
so that's what I'm saying. So it's never really been where it's I've bonded with someone and had like that close girlfriend that's like, okay, this is my dog.
But no, wait a minute. Slow down. You're not a spring chicken. So
No.
you mean to tell me in the entire time that you've been on this earth, you haven't had periods where you were ride or die and y'all were just down with each other and it faded? That's typical. That's typical life.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have them in high school, you get your first car, that's your road dog. You know what I'm saying? Then life happens and you kind of split apart. I
Oh, I
I had a
get it.
child young, so
I get it.
yeah. So it's kind of like you lose those bonds because you're lifing.
I understand that.
Life be lifing. So
Right.
you're not kind of like, oh, let's go to this party, let's do this, let's do that, or it's just that wasn't my experience.
Understood. And it's a comparison contrast to me, who's had the same set of friends for the last 45
Mhm.
years.
Mhm.
Got it. Makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong. I do have a core group. Our friends. Devin, Steve. You got Carolyn and Bobby. Like I said, it's an older crowd. I love them to death. Right. These are people that I feel like I can draw from. It's good energy. It's all about having a good time. It's about living life and no drama. Right. So I love what they bring. And I know that at any given time, if I needed that shoulder,
Hmm.
right, that they would be there.
No, the shows is important. I get it.
Yeah. So it's been tested, it's been tried. Because I can say there's a lot of requirements to, kind of be in my circle. And I hate to say it like that, but it really is like that. Like, you have to show improve. You have to show that you are trustworthy. Because I
That's
don't tell
important.
my business to just anybody. Like, this whole thing, us recording videos and everything, which this is totally outside of my comfort zone. This is outside of your
Mine
comfort
too. I mean,
zone.
like you're preaching to the choir here.
Like,
Yeah,
we have our
really.
social medias, but we're not really like putting our business out there like that. So for us to, go down this road, it's like, okay, this is outside of what I can say, we would do on a regular on normally.
Understood. I agree with that.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's just,
But you were talking about the. You were giving an example. Ashley, you were talking about Ashley. What happened?
oh yeah, so behind the scenes we were having a conversation about the this last season of Love and Marriage DC, and Ashley's character, and I don't want to say character because she's a real person. Like, these are real people. And like, so I don't want to say she's a character,
We call them behavior.
but
Her
yeah, her
behavior.
behavior. But it's just like noticing her interactions with her husband, noticing her interactions. We get introduced to her best friend Alicia, noticing that, okay, how she interacts with women on the show. It's like we're witnessing a chronologically older woman behave emotionally like a, I'm gonna give her 22.
I'm not giving it 22.
I'm gonna give her
Okay,
22.
I'm not
I'm
giving
gonna
it
give her
22.
20. I'm gonna give her a
Evidence
little
about what?
leeway because
Evidence about what?
I'm always the glass half full.
And I'm
So
not. I
I
say what it
just
is and what
I
it
feel
isn't.
like
You're gonna give it 22,
I'm gonna give her
and
22.
she's running around. Okay, let's rehash here. So I want to make sure I understand your evaluation. So She treats her husband with absolutely no respect whatsoever.
None, none whatsoever.
There's been four examples, and we're not even finished the season yet. Okay, and
No, we are
filmed.
done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we watched the last episode, her conflict with Joy.
Ah, okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
four examples of her disregard for her husband. Okay. Um, every friend that she has on this show, we've watched conflict with one way
Hmm.
or another, whether
Except
it's subtle.
for her best friend Alicia.
Well, Alicia was introduced, but and this is a lifelong friend that
Hmm. Hmm.
she grew up with. Actually, they used to live together, when they were very very young.
Hmm.
But given the behavior, we don't know what they go through either. They probably have little, tit for tats because that's how they're built.
Hmm.
They're built without conflict resolution. They're built to agitate a situation until you have some type of um, reaction,
Explosion,
a
yeah.
negative
Hmm.
reaction to the stimuli that they bring. That's just what they do, and that's what
Hmm.
we witness.
Yeah. For me, her behavior is
Juvenile.
very juvenile, very disrespectful, very um, inconsiderate. And that's the difference between maturity and immaturity, right? Immaturity is very self centered and selfish behavior because you're only thinking about me and how I feel about it, right? Whereas maturity, you're in a more compassionate, empathetic, you know, you care about how someone else is being affected. You're more considerate of someone else's feelings, right?
I hear you, and I would have to agree with that. Um, a person that's more mature is, along the lines of, you know, their fellow man. They consider them when making decisions. They consider them when it comes time for conflict. They're considering the feelings of the other person. So I would have to agree with that. However, there's a however. When you see better, you know better, you do better. Now, if you're in the environment where you've never seen a different way of resolving a conflict, then you're going to react the exact same way every time the same situation
Mhm.
comes about.
Mhm.
So that means that if you're still in the social circle, you're still in the environment, you're still in that neighborhood, so to speak, you're going to react the exact same way that you would if you're 10 or if you're 25.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter. So that's why I'm coming back to she's not 22, she's 12. Any questions?
No, she can't be 12 because honestly, her and Alicia met what 15, 16 years old.
I don't care
And I
how
no,
chronologically old they are. I'm saying
what I would
the
say at
way
the
she
youngest,
reacts
at the
to
young,
what's going on, the way she reacts to conflict, the way
okay.
she reacts to a person trying to finish a sentence, the way she reacts to her husband, the way she reacts to women on that show dictates that this person has not got past the third grade. Any questions?
That's brutal.
It's the truth.
No, I would say about 16.
Okay.
She's still behaving like a 16 or 17-year old.
A 16 or 17
Yeah.
year old. Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, they have very toxic juvenile behavior, right? Alicia can manipulate Ashley's emotions.
Alicia can manipulate
She
Ashley's
yeah, and
emotions.
she how can she manipulate Ashley's emotions, right?
How's that different than the
Because I've been
schoolyard?
doing the same thing all these years, so I know what buttons to push. I know just the right words to say to set her off. Because in the conversation that they had when they went to pick out Christmas trees, right? And so Alicia's coming with, oh, I heard Joy said that she's riding for the Tylers, and that we're being that we're fake and we're superficial because we're dealing with what's her name? Oh, I forget the lady's name, Sharelle. And so Ashley didn't have to have proof that that's what Joy said, but because her best friend said it, and she believes what comes out of her best friend's mouth, she then commences to tell Joy's business in a
And,
sly, sneaky way. Like, ooh, did I say that? Or when no, she asked a question, so I just answered it. But you were sworn to secrecy.
well, but you're proving my point. You're giving credence to my point.
Okay.
So, one, there's no difference in that type of behavior and what you heard in the schoolyard in the third and fourth grade. Okay? The influence of, I'm going to give you something to think about. One friend influencing another one to not only think it, but to act it out. You don't do that at 16. 16, you're more boy crazy and you're more, trying to find yourself. You're not so influenced. We had different experiences. Again, I grew up in the city. We had to grow up fast. Okay? So that behavior there, mm-mm. 12. 12.
Okay, well, I'm South Jersey. So I would say about 16,
Okay.
17.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. We had, different life
Yeah,
experiences and
absolutely.
yeah, that would cost you
Hmm.
dearly in the city.
Yeah.
So I get it. But that said, I don't think that she really realizes, and when I say she, I'm talking about Ashley. I don't think that she really realizes how controlled she is by her friend. I don't think that she
She
realizes,
doesn't.
right? She can't see it.
She doesn't.
She doesn't realize how detrimental the friendship is, and the result of every action she takes brings her farther and farther apart from everyone else that could potentially be her
And
friend.
help with her growth.
So the friend that she had from
Mm.
a beginning, we're talking
Mm.
16, is the person that's responsible for her arrested development. Do I have any questions?
Boy. Yes. That's the point. That's the point right there.
Yeah, nail on the head. That said, something to
No.
think about.
No,
Pew
because we got
vision.
so much
It's
more,
where
but we might have to do another
we're gonna
part
have to
because
do
it's just
another. But
like,
listen,
yeah,
Pew
that
vision is where it's at. This is it. I told you I like to go to the end of a conversation, didn't I? Yeah.
and these are just our observations. We're sitting up watching, reality TV. That could be not so much reality, and we may have a video on that as well.
We
But
definitely
at
will.
the same time, I can say that I appreciate Carlos King and his productions because he gives, I feel like we see the person as a whole. So we have things that we don't like about them, but then we have things that we do like about them. Like Jamie started off really rough around the edges, and
You like Jamie?
this season I absolutely loved him.
Yeah.
He was like a tough little teddy bear. You know what I'm saying? Like he had the hard exterior, but he's just a nut, a little clown, and could have, yuck it up with the best of them. Like I really like Jamie. I like Arena. I like all of the characters, and and please forgive me, not characters. They are on the show, but I like all of their personalities. Of course, everyone has good and bad. And I like that we're able to see the good and bad in all of them because it makes you conflicted. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, I can't stand her, but then I did like when she did this, or I liked when she said that. So I hope that, to wrap this up, I hope that Ashley was able to see this season, and I hope that she's able to reflect and realize that she's blocking
Hmm.
her growth. She's blocking expansion because it's not about being on a TV show. That's not the end all to be all. We're here to build character. We're here to experience trials and tribulations, to develop our souls, and that's what this is all about. So you're on this show to help you to grow and mature and to become a whole person. So that being said, we're going to wrap this up because we're going into the 30 minutes.
Absolutely. Pew vision. That's where it's at.
Yes, stay blessed and good vibes.
Always.